wouldn't hesitate. It would be the best thing that you could ever do for yourself. I would be the last person that you would ever expect to do something like this. And if I can do it, anybody can do it. I think everybody needs that little extra help.
All right, everybody, Vanessa here. I have Jody here with me. Super excited to share her story because in just 12 weeks, she's down 20 pounds, feeling a whole lot better. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Jody. And Jody, I'll really ask you, what really motivated you to start training with Right to Fitness?
It came at a time when I wasn't looking to do anything. But I was feeling tired all the time. I had no energy, and I was taking a look at like what would be 10 years from now, what 10 years from now would look like for me. And it kind of scared me. I never struggled with my weight. It was never an issue. And then I started to think like 10 years from now, what's this going to look like for me? And it scared me. I didn't want my body to deteriorate. I didn't want to have the aches and pains and wake up not feeling my best. I think at that time, I wasn't expecting it, but it was like the biggest blessing for me at the time.
And I know we had talked about like early on, you just feeling, and we'll get into this too, but just feeling like tired. And I know that was like the big thing. You're like, I'm just tired of feeling tired. So I know here we are at the end of your 12 weeks, and that's changed a whole lot for you, which is awesome. Have you previously tried anything else to help, with your weight loss to get yourself feeling better? Or is this really the first thing that you've really committed to?
This is the first thing I've ever really committed to. I've never tried any fad diets. I would make commitment to eating better or to start exercising. That would be pretty much it. And I would not follow through with it.
Yeah. And what did you feel was missing? Like when you would tell yourself like, hey, I'm going to do this, like what was the missing link that this worked for you?
Well, now I know the missing link was you.
Yes, I love that.
Because I have the type of personality that I'll do what somebody else tells me to do. And I think that there's probably a lot of other women that feel that way too. Mm-hmm. They don't realize it. To have that accountability is like the key. And it is what worked for me. I will do what you tell me to do, but I don't necessarily do like what I'm telling myself to do.
Right. That's the missing key for a lot of people. So that's great.
Yeah.
How did you feel before starting your transformation program?
I was scared to start the program. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to do it. I never felt like I'd see other people doing these things and going to the gym and exercising. And I just never thought that would be something that I would be able to do. So I was scared. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to, I didn't want to let anybody down.
I'm sure, I talk to a lot of people and it's the fear of failing, like letting yourself down when you commit to something like this. So yeah, you're not alone there either. What was your goal when starting out?
I don't think it was necessarily to lose a lot of weight. It was to feel better about myself. And I wanted to set an example for my children and for them to see me living a better life and me being happy.
What results have you seen since starting Right to Fitness? You'd mentioned about digestive issues, bloating. Have those things helped? And then obviously anything else you want to kind of talk about, because you have a lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I had no issues with my stomach. Through this whole process, I've felt so much better. My energy's better. I mean, my clothes fit better. I feel more comfortable. I just feel more comfortable. For women, you don't want to put a swimsuit on. It's like a nightmare. I didn't even, I'd hide myself. I'd cover, I would be like, I wouldn't want to put a swimsuit on. I felt so much better. And I was more active, like being out at the beach. I'd want to be in, walking around with my kids. And, I didn't even want to stand up before. I know that sounds crazy because it wasn't that bad, but it's just confidence wise. I just feel so much better.
Yeah, that doesn't sound crazy at all. That's exactly what, this is why these interviews are so important, because I think as women, we just don't feel like we can talk about that stuff, we just like, because it's like almost, you just like feel like, oh, I shouldn't feel this way. So it's so important to know that like, you feel this way, and I know other ladies feel this way as well.
Mhm.
So how do you feel now, and how has your life changed? So we kind of talked about that a little bit. So how's your life really changed throughout this journey? Just the way you look at this, whole lifestyle.
Well, I feel like I can pretty much continue this process for the rest of my life. My whole mindset has changed. I know I never want to go, backward. I know how to live a healthy life and just feel better every day. And I think that's just the best thing.
Do you feel like this program has kind of taught you like how to make this sustainable, like because you're a busy, you're a mom of 3, you're a busy lady. Do you feel like this has kind of like taught you how to make that mesh with your busy life?
Oh, absolutely.
So what aspects of our coaching have you most enjoyed?
Oh, that's the biggest thing. I mean, that's been like the best part of this whole program for me, is working with you one-on-one. You're always available for anything that I would ever have needed. And one thing that, because I'm so fearful of letting anybody down, and I never wanted to let you down, but you never made me feel like I was doing anything wrong, even when I was, doing something wrong, or like wasn't, my food didn't look right. You were always encouraging, and you never made me feel like, bad about myself. And I think that, I mean, I wish I could keep you forever.
Oh, I love that. You have, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm in your corner always, just
Yeah.
because your program's ending I'm always here, and this is something that it's really hard for me to watch you guys kind of transition out, because I'm like, oh, like I want to know how you're doing. So I'm always here for you. So what new goals do you have now moving forward?
I'm going to try and lose some more weight. I think that that's possible, and I would even feel better. I'm not going to stop now, and I'm just going to continue eating the way I've been eating. Even though it's wonderful now and I feel great now, I think it can even be better and better and better.
Last question, Jody, what would you tell anyone who is thinking about working with Right to Fitness?
I wouldn't hesitate. It would be the best thing that you could ever do for yourself, because I would be the last person that you would ever expect to do something like this, and scared to death to go into a gym, and not the most social person. So if I can do it, anybody can do it. I think everybody needs that little extra help. I really do. It is like amazing.